It all started at the Game Awards.
And we create the games we want to create and do our best because of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
They didn't cut his mic because they didn't realize he was up there. He really was just blending in the back there for so long.
You know, real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
I saw some speculation that it was like some like 4chan kind of conspiracy thing. Like everyone was saying he was trying to like allude to some shit. Turns out he's a character entirely though. So let's go to his TikTok. Matt and Evan, everybody talks, nobody listens. To clarify, he's 15. This is a 15-year-old kid.
And being 15, you say you crashed a couple of different venues. Walk me through all the venues you crashed.
Right, so, you know, I've crashed the Clippers game, kind of switched the shirt, a World of Warcraft panel at BlizzCon.
So anyway, the identity of the series Taylor being unknown.
These were both giant things, by the way. This one, not so much, but the one where he was at the basketball game, says when he was 12 years old, so it was like 2019. That was free icon, so yeah.
Clippers game, kind of switched the shirt, a World.
So he was a political activist at first, switched to Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton is his new promotion, which is interesting.
Game kind of switched the shirt, a World of Warcraft panel at BlizzCon.
So anyway, the identity of the series Taylor being unknown, and
Where are taking him to all these events and he's pulling all this shit. Where are his parents?
Figure in Warcraft flow. Is there a possibility that there be a character we know is connected?
Free Hong Kong!
This is a weird place to do it too. A World of Warcraft like game place. If you haven't been able to tell by now, when he said the free Hong Kong thing earlier, he had no accent. The accent is new. The accent is part of a character.
You have no fear that someone is gonna just snatch your little ass up.
Well, you know, obviously, I'm not above the law, and obviously it's not good to face legal consequences. But I think the main thing is that sometimes, you know, things happen, and, you know, this time there is a lot of good coming out of it.
Okay. Was it the exposure for Bill Clinton?
Right, you know, that's a really big one.
I guess, yeah, the exposure for Bill Clinton was the good that came out of it. Again, no one knows what that sentence really means, but here we are. Then he had a few more moments that kind of blew him up, where he established himself as the newest Sigma, with one comeback response no one could see coming.
You know, I didn't know that I was going to be sitting talking to a bunch of illiterate people who don't know how to read, but,
You're literally 15. What do you know?
You know how to read.
Yes, I do know how to read.
Name 10 books.
Are you serious?
Yes, 100%. Name 10 books.
And just like that, he solidified himself as the biggest Sigma the 21st century has ever seen. I mean, they just cut it out right there. I wonder if she was able to name 10 books. Here, I'll try to do it right now. I'm on the spot. Atomic Habits, Power, The Art of Now, Crushing It by Gary Vee. I'm sad that one's on my list. I'm sorry. It just came to my head. Guys, fuck. Bible. I'm just trying to name 10 books I've read. And that's even hard to do. That's why he's a fucking Sigma. I can't do it. Oh yeah, I read the Womanese book this year. Oh, thank you. That's a great one. But yeah, that's Matan. Again, 15 years old. The confidence to be able to stay in character for a full, I think, 2-hour podcast and drop this hilarious line
Read.
is
Yes, I do
impressive.
know how to
But it didn't stop there.
I don't have time to listen to more of this hedonistic nonsense from these people who don't know how to read, they're completely illiterate, and their head is completely empty. So I'm gonna go, thank you for having me on today.
My man, I appreciate you, my boy.
Not to talk to you guys.
It was really nice meeting you.
Full in character, not giving it up. This is when he talked to controversial figure Sneeko.
Where are you headed to right now, Matan? You seem like you're busy. You seem like you got somewhere to be. I don't want to hold you up. You got to go spread God's message.
I'll be helping the homeless community by giving out broken cameras.
Why not working cameras?
They're too expensive.
And that's our first time seeing Bill Clinton Kid actually break, even though he's done a 2-hour podcast before. Things have gotten even more heated up because what the fuck is this? I mean, I don't know, going from Sneeko to Yay, maybe he is all over the place. So random. And whenever he joins these conversations, he never says anything like real. He's a troll. Like, he's just a troll. That's all. That's his only goal, is a troll. We will never know bro's objective because we really don't. Before the free Hong Kong stuff, it seemed like he was going for like a political kind of like message. And now like we got no idea what he wants. Maybe he just wants to be a TikTok star.
You know, a lot of people are listening to people like Andrew Tate, Jordan Welch, Iman Gadzhi to make money. Let me tell you something. You listen to me, you're gonna be making a lot less money and you're gonna lose it a lot quicker. You know, a lot of people are listening to...
You listen to him, you're going to be making a lot less money and you're going to lose it a lot quicker. But we should be listening to him. He's like the counter to like Andrew Tate culture. He's just like, I have no direction for you. I'll just tell you to go somewhere. As a 15-year-old, this is an impressive level of trolling. It really is. This is the one he talks about OnlyFans, I believe.
I'd actually like to ask you guys if you think the government needs to make any strict regulations on how much people can charge for OnlyFans subscriptions so it can be fair for everybody.
Wait, what? A restriction on subscription?
Yeah, no.
A proposition I've never heard in my life, but he says it so confidently and as if there is a discussion to be had that I almost believe him. He's fun to just hop in on. Like, you never know where he's at. Like, what's going on here? What is he doing?
Everybody wants to make money from drop shipping and e-commerce. Take a break. Invest some of your money to the Mongolian cantaloupe market as well as the dog breeding market.
Don't know what the setup is for this. Don't know what he's talking about. Don't know why he's on a merry-go-round in a mall. But I'm still so curious. What if he has the answers? What if he knows all? This is him.
You know, a lot of people have been asking me about my ego, considering my recent success. Today I decided to humble myself by getting a 9-to-5 where I'll be paid less than $10 a day to mop the floor.
He really relates to the common man is what I'm getting. Let's go to his YouTube, actually.
The OnlyFans subscription. How would you do that? How would you go to do that?
Right, obviously if I had complete control, I would just completely ban OnlyFans. But in terms of like a realistic situation, you know, where we can't just ban OnlyFans, I think we need to put a restriction on it because, again, if we look at, you know, reliable sources of data like Carnegie Mellon University, it's actually been cited multiple times that OnlyFans is the leading contributor in homeless depression.
It's just made up. That's not true.
How?
Right, because they can afford it and, you know, that leads to a lot of sadness within the homeless community.
Can't afford it, so at least
But that's not our fault. That is not our fault.
I have something to question.
And then run through the hair. What a Sigma. What a Sigma move.
I didn't know that I was going to be talking to a bunch of illiterate people who don't know how to read.
Let's see what happens after. Let's see
You're
if she
literally 15.
names the book.
What do you know?
You know how to read?
10 books.
Yes, I do know how to read.
Name 10 books.
Are you serious?
Yes, 100%. Name 10 books.
Well, I read Game of Thrones. I'm obsessed with like the Twilight series.
Called?
Whoa.
Game of Thrones, the series?
What's the book called? It's not called Game of Thrones.
Oh wow, he questioned what's the book of Game of Thrones
Just
called?
trying to come up with a bunch of nonsense and she can't name any actual books.
Oh, shut up, kid.
It's so obvious he's joking. But I guess she doesn't know.
You're taking my spot.
I'm sorry if I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry if I said the wrong thing. I was obsessed with the show Game of Thrones, and I started reading the book. And can you let me finish?
Bro, can you shut up?
He's smiling. That's what he's doing. Oh man.
I
This is the
fucked
trolling
with
I'm
Junie
okay
B.
with. I think it's
Jones,
funny.
Dr. Seuss,
never read a book in my life, and
the Pigeon books, Fly Guy.
What's the 15-year-old kid? What do you read?
You know, I read all types of books. I read the Talmud, I read the Torah, I read the Bible.
Not the Talmud, not that one. What are you talking
Named all the religious texts.
The face is gone.
Right, you know, I read all of that type of stuff. You know, I read all types of books, business books. You know, the Sharman book, the Rabak book, a bunch of nonsense I'm making up on the spot. But again, clearly...
Did you hear that? Did he say he's making up nonsense on the spot?
A bunch of nonsense I'm making up on the spot. But again, clearly...
He literally he's making jokes.
You think you're smarter than these girls? That's why you interrupt them?
You know, I don't really think that, you know, for the most part, you know, they've earned my respect to speak. You know, especially when I have something better to say.
We've earned your respect to speak.
Right.
And you believe you're God, right?
That's not really the point.
Hour and 30 minutes of character for a 15-year-old. He seems pretty good about trolling in a way that's like mostly respectful. I think this girl's took him a little too seriously. I think it's very obvious he's a character.
I
don't
care
about charity. It's a ploy. It's a scam.
Only a scam. Like,
Charity is a scam.
Kid. Ask the 15-year-old kid if he gives to charity.
Do you give to charity?
You know, absolutely not. But with that being said, I just want...
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. What a fucking beast.
I want to say something real quick. You know, I actually have some stuff coming up and I don't have enough, I don't have time to listen to more of this hedonistic nonsense from these people who don't know how to read, they're completely illiterate, and their head is completely empty. So I'm gonna go, thank you for having me on today.
My man, I appreciate you.
Oh, wow, he leaves on his own terms. It wasn't even the end of the podcast. He just got up and left. Where do you gotta be? School? Like, what?
Listen, by the way, check out my Twitch, Matan Evans. And with that
Yeah, this is all for his Twitch. He was on InfoWars when he was when he was 12 years old. I guess that was because they had a mutual interest in the Hong Kong censorship thing. I guess the signs are looking kind of bad. But I think he's just fucking with everybody, so let's see this.
I'm in the heart of New York City on New Year's Eve. You know, there's cars hitting buildings and people crawling in the streets. I just want to let everybody know that next year is going to be a lot worse because nobody has the self-control to better themselves.
All right, you heard him here first. That's the end of this. This year's going to be a lot worse. Because no one is taking the initiative to better themselves. And I don't know what the fuck he's holding here. So we'll see what Matt and Evan has for us in the future. As of now, he is the Sigma that told us to name 10 books, and we couldn't.